Hello. To zoom out a bit. So let's wait a little bit for a few other people to join in. I'll have my tea in the meantime. So what is the plan for today? The plan for today is to basically join our two halves together, just roughly, to see where we're at. I know the wheelbase, then we'll see what the actual length this is going to be. And then we need to find the position of our firewall, which is extremely important. More important than the rear. The rear is not really important. We need to see where the firewall is. I think it'll be around here where the thing is for the springs are. So somewhere here. And then we need to make the floor of the car, and we'll see. We'll see how far we progress. I have thought a lot about the front suspension as well, and there will be some changes in the future, but I will make those changes, or we will make those changes when the rest of the car is done or has a rough shape, because then we will be able to really see how everything here behaves. Okay, so in the last stream we made an inline 3 engine, and there were requests to see how it fits. Well, let's find out. Hey Adam, thank you. Okay, now let's see. This is the engine bay. This is the engine. So let me just see. Okay, that's as low as it goes. As low as it goes. And if we imagine that the ride height is about that, the engine is way too high. You see, it would stick out of the hood a lot. So the inline 3 engine is absolutely unsuitable for this car, the way we are doing it. If this engine, if we would consider putting this engine into the car, we would need to design the whole car around the engine. For example, in the E30, the whole steering of the engine, what am I talking about? The whole steering of the car was in front of the engine. So most of the front suspension was in front of the engine. That's why the engine was, I was able to put the engine as low as possible so that it would clear the hood. And even then it was just enough. So sadly, no pneumatic four-cylinder engine. Yep. But never say never. I mean, still, we can make eventually, in one of the streams further down the line, we can make a car that fits, that's built around the engine. It can use those wheels. Who knows? We can make an BMW M1, and we use this engine instead of the inline 6, and the engine is then you know, it would sit like this. It would sit like this, very low in the car. Then it would be fine. But with our setup, no. They are the small cylinders. If you want to know more about this, just watch the previous stream. www.lppower.com. Uh, yes, it was a customer engine. I haven't shipped it because I was waiting for this stream. So I could show you that it doesn't fit. If I had shipped it, of course, we forgot to do it last time. Uh, I had to show you. So it's going in the mail tomorrow. I have tested it. The engine is fine. The reason why it didn't turn over is because we didn't have enough pressure. With the compressor, it turned over immediately and ran fine. So we did a good job. Okay, so in order for us to see how long this shit needs to be, let's take a look at the calculations that we made in the first episode. So you have videos that it runs. There's a video in on my YouTube channel where an exact same engine like this is shown running. So go check it out. It runs exactly the same. Yes, the engine runs very well, as it should. These are stock dimensions, and we calculated our stuff here. Okay. So the wheelbase in our case should be 375 millimeters. So 375 millimeters. Let's see. 375 millimeters. Okay, that's our wheelbase. Now let's see what this means. Okay, front axle is here and rear axle is here. Come on. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. Now let's see how much this is in studs, so we can have a rough estimate what we need to do. Okay. Let me have another sip of tea. Okay. Now let me get so one of my boxes with stuff. Here we store the Challenger suspension, and we're going to use these bricks that are basically leftovers. We're going to use them to construct our chassis. gonna take as much as I can from this. Anything else? No. Okay. I'm going to take this as well. And this and this. No need for this here. Also this. Come on. No, okay. So. Okay. Black parts. Black parts. We might need some of those. We'll see. Okay. Okay, that's quite a mess. Let's take most of these off screen. I'll put them on the floor or something, and I'll be able to basically take parts from it as I need them. Okay. Let's see. First, I just want to make a spacer between those two, so I know exactly where we are. Nothing else. It'll be just okay. Let's see where we can start. Okay. Okay, we'll do it like this. We need more of these. Imagine that. Our first rolling chassis. Show you what's happening. Okay. So what we need to do is do some frame rails. Those will not be here when the car is finished. They are just here to connect both sections. Now we need another row. I think I'll go with 3. Okay. More. Okay. Now let's see. Let's see where we are. Even longer. Okay. We're missing a little bit. Okay. But we'll do it. How much are we missing? We're missing 1 stud. Okay. So we do it like this. It's a little bit complicated, but oh well. Let's see what we have on the floor. Yep, as I thought. We need five stud long lift arms. Okay. Now I have no idea if this is the right height to connect both. That's another matter entirely. But that's what we need to find out as well. So where exactly the bottom of the rocker panel is, in front and rear. Okay. Now let's connect them. Let's connect them. Every time, I mean, this is compared to, for example, the front and rear suspension. This is a very boring part, very tedious. But we have to do it. So there's nothing to it but to do it. No. We are going to use just this. Just studdless. No normal Lego. The only normal Lego is, for example, here in the leaf spring. The body of the car will be exclusively made out of the frames and out of panels. I try to use as little lift arms as possible because they're not the optimal solution. They're just dead weight. Okay, so what we have here is very weird. You see, the front is much lower than the rear in our case, so we need to drastically adjust stuff here. I would say, let's see. So yeah, but not by much. The problem is that the front suspension needs to be adjusted to the right height of the car, where the car will be once we're done. Let's say it's something like this. So let's take our measurement. So the front is here, okay, and the rear is about half a stud higher. Okay, that's not too bad. So the rear will be, well, one whole stud is, the rear is one whole stud higher than the front at our projected right height. So I would like to make it the bottom of the car level with the ground, as level as we can, because this is a muscle car and it has leaf springs. It's the easiest part in the world is to just jack up the leaf springs. So that's an easy way to raise the rear, or because we have torsion bar suspension, we can always adjust our torsion bars to the height that we want. So we can lower it and raise it pretty much as we please. So one thing that we forgot last time is that we did not raise the rear of the rear suspension. So we are going to do this now, and then we are going to adjust this so the car is level. Then we need to determine first where the firewall is, and then we are going to build the car from the firewall to the rear. And we are going to deal with all of this when we get to the rear. So okay, easy peasy. We need to replace this with 4-stud lift arms. Then it's raised. So come on. Okay. There we go. One side raised. It's as easy as that. So we want a slight incline in the rear axle so that the angle of the main drive shaft is not as steep. It's not much, but just takes the edge of the angle. There we go. Okay, both sides done. So for now, let's see what we can do with raising this. So in order to verify what we're going to do, the right height of the car when it will be fully loaded with the engine and bodywork and everything, come on, will be something like this. So the lower wishbone will be almost parallel to the ground. So this is our default position, and then we can go from this. So this come on, yeah, like something like this. So the level, this height will dictate everything else. This is also how it was envisioned, and that's pretty much how it's in the real car. When in every car, when the car is on the ground, the lower wishbones are level with the ground usually, except if the car is either jacked up or lowered drastically, then this changes. But from stock, if you if you look under any car, you will see that the front wishbones at normal ride height are level with the ground. So this is what we're aiming here as well. Okay, now let's raise this. We are going to raise this very simply. The way I always do it. So to raise stuff like this, I usually use this. Basically, it goes horizontally, and no big deal. Okay. There we go. Also, after this trim, I will make pictures of what we have tomorrow, and I will post them on Facebook, so you will all be able to build and see what we have here. Or at least you will be able to follow more closely what we are doing. We need two more for this side. Come on. There we go. Now I'm probably just as curious as you guys to see what the right height will look like. I mean, right height. What this contortion that we're building here is going to look like proportion-wise, because it's all about proportions. So, okay. Now let's attach the rear again. No, I will put them in a zip file that will be available to download, because there will be just too many. Way too many photos. Okay, now let's see what has happened here. Okay, I will now look at the car from this side. Yeah, maybe you can't. No. Let's look at it together. Okay, let's look at it together. So I think the front, I think this guys need to be one stud higher still. Needs to be one stud higher still, in order for this to be somehow level. So it's 3 stud higher. Yeah, maybe because we raised the rear suspension a little bit, but yeah, that's what it needs. So one stud more, which is great, because then we have a nice 3 stud difference between this and the rear, which is fine. Right now it's pretty odd, which is not good. Okay, so let's see. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'll try to remove you as far as possible. There we go. So that, okay, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's first check this. Right. Okay. So the wheelbase has changed a little bit. Probably now it needs to be, I think, 2 studs. Okay, 2 studs closer. Let's check this first before we continue. What the fuck? But okay, the shorter the wheelbase, the better. The less material we're going to use, and so on. So let's shorten it by 2 studs. See what our scale says. Yep, that's pretty much it. So we have to shorten it by 2 studs. Great. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay, now let's see. How am I going to raise this by 3 studs without breaking it? Need a cup of tea. The other streams are on YouTube. You can watch all the streams that have been that we have made so far. Okay, we just we'll get a fix it. So just so we can satisfy our curiosity. This doesn't need to be very strong, so we'll just make a quick get a fix, and it'll be fine. No, the photos of the other streams are basically nowhere yet. That's why I mentioned the photos, because I need to do them. I need to make photos. I was a little bit tired and lazy the past few days because I just started a new a diet and a training regime, so I was just tired, really tired, and I didn't have the energy to do it. But now I'm fine, so we'll do it. I'll make pictures tomorrow. I will put them on Facebook, and I will also tweet the link, so you will be able to see it. I mean, it'll be very hard to miss if you follow any of my stuff. Okay. Yes. Come on. Okay. So this is perfect. This is pretty much absolutely perfect. Let me show you. So the car is now, yeah, I am a car guy. The car is now level as it should be. Any small adjustments we can make on the fly with the rear and front suspension, they are both adjustable, so that's no big deal. But the car is roughly where we want it. So our rocker panel is going to be somewhere here, just barely covering this guy. It needs to be like this. So basically one stud lower. It's one stud, as far as I can see on this, it's one stud lower than the mounting point for the rear leaf springs, which is good. Which is good. Yeah. This will be nice. Okay, so next thing we need to do is determine where our firewall is. This is the most important part of the entire build, because the firewall on the car basically it binds it's the most important part in terms of strength, because everything that's important connects to it. So the front frame rails connect to it, the lower frame rails connect to it, the A pillar connects to it, and then subsequently the roof. And there's a lot of things that a firewall is doing. So structurally, it's one of our most important parts. Topi, what do you mean? The front wheels turn with it. The front wheels turn, of course. Front wheels turn. We have suspension. Oh no, there's. I mean, I cannot see any bumps there. Even though the suspension needs adjustment, I cannot see bumps there. The wheels are being pulled inwards, so basically the camber changes, but there's no toe in, so no bumps there. What we can see here is when I steer the car, you can see how the front is being lifted. This is part of the reason why, when the car is driving forward and the weight of the car is pressing down, you see right here, when I press the car down, the wheel turns a little bit inwards. So when it's moving and there's weight of the car on the front wheels, the wheels will center itself. So basically that's the caster, the kingpin, both working together to basically self-center the wheels when the car is driving. That's how it works in the real car as well, and that's how it will work here. So yeah, let's see what the suspension is doing. I need to adjust it a little bit. I need to find a way to adjust this more permanently, because I have a feeling that those two are actually moving and our suspension is self adjusting on the way. So we need to find a make a ratchet mechanism that will prevent those two from turning when we don't want them. So this is the right height we want at the end with the full weight of the car. I dialed it down now because we can, but this is what we're looking for. And of course, if someone wants to then lower the car, you just turn the torsion bars and you lower the car. No problem. I think that's the easiest lowering method possible. There we go. Okay. Um, yeah, let's continue with our mission. So, sip of tea. Uh, so, now the dimensions themselves aren't really that important. I don't know. Let's check. No, that's the front suspension. Yeah, okay. So you see, this is the A pillar. This is our A pillar, and see how strong it is even on the Charger, which is a 60s car. Uh, and the we need to see now what's the how far away from the wheel this wall needs to be, because this is our firewall. It goes directly straight through the car, and of course with the Charger, there's a gap between the door and the wheel. I mean, a gap. The Do we have a picture from the outside? Yeah, we need to go to first file. Yeah, many people just forget about that on their Technic models, and then you see body work, suspensions, and stuff that's really completely uh, out of this world. Not really what a real car would be. Um, okay, those blueprints are such shit. I was hoping for. Okay, yeah, we can work with that. For example, you see where the firewall is basically here at at the edge of the hood. There is the firewall. Here it starts. Uh, okay, so let's take this picture is garbage. Yeah, let's take those two. So that's the edge of the door. Yeah. I downloaded them from the internet, as one does. Yeah, I found them on Google. Everybody can find them on Google. I mean, it's really no big deal. Um, but yeah, now here's the tricky part. Well, yeah, I guess. Um, here's the tricky part. We need to see exactly where we are here. I This is quite important because one stud difference here can make a lot of difference. Quite a lot of difference. what to do? Well, we need to place something, a ruler or something around this. Maybe, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it ghetto style. So we'll take this. Oh, yeah, that's how it works. Okay, no, so yeah, that's not gonna work. It only allows me one application, one app, but no problem, no problem. Let's since we're only interested in this small part. Okay, but we are interested in uh, exactly this. Okay, so I'm going to move the screen like this. Yeah, okay, there, and now down, and let's see where we are. Pretty far in the front. Look at how much this panel goes to the front, and let's reveal how much we have here. Oh my god, yeah, not much actually. So I would say from this, so if we, okay, so if where's my red pointer? Okay, so we need to measure from the wheel, of course, from the, according to the photos. So between the wheel and the edge of the fender will be one stud of a gap in front of your and rear, uh, and then there's two more studs, and then there's the firewall. Hey, uh, Kashberle. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Uh, Welcome to the stream. Well, so we basically have three studs from the wheel to the firewall. And guess where the firewall is? Exactly where our adjusters for the springs are. Now, I would prefer if the adjusters would be inside of the car. This would make this would create a great opportunity to make a mechanism to combine both with into just one adjuster knob, and at the same time create a ratchet mechanism that would prevent them from unscrewing. This way, we can adjust both simultaneously. Oh, really? I mean, I speak German, but I have never heard this name. Okay, I'll call you Joker. Um, okay, so basically the way I see it, let me eyeball this. Or no, let's not eyeball. Let's make ourselves a Lego ruler like this. So okay, so let's take the wheel and bump it into the body. Okay, the way I see it, the firewall is exactly in the center of our mechanism. So this means that we are going to move our mechanism to the back so that the firewall can be exactly where this guy is, and this guy is going to be inside of the car, so inside of the firewall. So there will be, well, theoretically there will be more. Basically, there will be more and more room for the engine, because those two will be a little. I think we can make them. We have to make them one, two studs. We have to move them two studs further back. At the same time, we will have to reinforce our springs. So the torsion bars, because now that they are further back, the torsion bars, of course, will be able to flex more. So that's no problem, because basically they will be as long as they would be in the real car, which is nice, I guess. Um, so our plan is now to create the firewall. We know where it has to be approximately, and the only thing that we do not know is how much room do we have to the bottom. No, wait, we do not. We don't know that. We do not know how high it needs to be. For this, I need to take a look at their blueprints and basically make calculations. I have the scale of the car. I need to then transform the measurements. Uh, come on. I need to transform the measurements from the blueprint, basically how high we need to make them. Yeah, they're connected, but that's really not important. We just needed to do this in order to determine some dimensions that we need for the continuous build. We are going to disconnect them as soon as I make some pictures, because otherwise I'll just forget. Oh, come on. Okay. I'll include those pictures in the picture set that I will post on Facebook. Okay. I think that's good enough. So, and now we disconnect them. So, the rear part we do not need now. We need this. So, first order of the day, moving this to further back. Since the gap is only 2, we basically just add 2 more identical connectors. It'll suffice for now. The springs will be slightly softer in the front, but we'll deal with this later when it will actually be important. Okay. And to be honest, I will now leave them off, because first we need to do the firewall. I will just keep this one, and we'll do the firewall on this side first. Then we'll copy this on the other side. And of course this guy needs to go as well. There we go. So they're nicely stacked. Okay. So the firewall needs to be set exactly where this guy is. Yeah. So the firewall is here. Exactly where this little stud is. Which is great news, because this is exactly where we are going to connect our connectors. I mean, connectors, our frames. There we go. So basically, this is where our firewall needs to be. Let's check. Looks all right. There's all the space we need. But I somehow think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think this firewall needs to be one stud further back, because the calculation that we made is that one stud is the gap between the fender and the wheel, and then there's 2 studs more, and the firewall is on the 4th stud. Actually, it's on the 4th stud. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is too perfect, but I think it's on the 4th. But that's actually, well, all things considered, it's no big deal, because we can do just this. And we extend it by 1 stud. This structure here also will give the body a lot of strength once it's done. So yeah, there's more room in the fender now, so this is fine. Okay, this means that this needs to be 1 stud further out again. Okay, but oh well. Might as well replace this. Come on. Okay. So until now, this was our spring. So what I'm going to do, because we now need to actually reinforce it, because it gained length, and the longer it is, the more it torsionally twists. So we do not want that. We do not want that. And let me just see how much of this goes inside. So we need 1, 2, 3. So there will be another 2 connector here, another of those connectors here, and then we need a 4 stud X going in here, and we'll put another half bush connector, half bush here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So this. Okay, I mean, now our torsion bars are getting their final form, I guess. Yeah. I wouldn't call this virginity, but so we have 3 of these stacked together, then a 4 stud axle and half a stud bush, and then it goes in here. So this is our torsion bar. Okay. Yeah, well, let's continue, and then we can mount it to our torsion bar adjuster. Let's see. Where did I go wrong? Yes, of course, here. So we're still inside the firewall, yeah. And we do not want to be here. So we need to extend this by another stud. I'm going to ghetto fix this, and then when we are nearing completion, we can always change this. So another half a stud. So this is then the final length of our torsion bar. I think it'll be stiff enough. I hope so. I don't know. I can judge it right now. We'll see. Okay, so what we need here is probably another connector, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Okay, there's room for the steering. And I do not want this axle here to interfere with the steering. Okay. Well, now if we turn this over, we see that we have an opportunity to actually brace it here, but I'm not going to do that because this would basically expose this part, and it will be able to twist more than I would like. So this needs to be fixed now to the firewall. Let's see what the options are. What are our options to fix this to the firewall? We probably need to re-engineer somehow something. Okay. Let's take a look from this side. Well, I want to make a temporary fix just to have this installed. I know we are going to have to change this in the very near future, but I'm going to make a ghetto fix just so that it's mounted. And we have to keep in mind that we need to keep the torsion bar removable. We as we said in the first streams, everything here has to be modular. I hate stuff that is not modular and that cannot be modified. Okay, this side is done. What about this? Ah, yes, this we can fix just simply by this. Okay. So it's gotta fix to the firewall. Yes, I could, but there's always a but. There's a few problems. First, we want this area free of anything because this is where the tunnel is. Here, this is where the drive axle will go to the rear, and this is where we want a potential gearbox to sit. So that's a big no-no. I do not know. I wanted to do, I mean, my wish is to do a supercar, maybe Chiron or something that would have a huge electric motor made entirely out of Lego and be super fast. And of course, the car would be realistic with a monocoque chassis, removable front and rear sections, uh, proper race suspension, and all the jazz. All that the Lego Chiron isn't. And of course, it needs to be remote controlled because that's where the fun lies. Okay, so let's see what the strength of our leaves of our torsion bar is. Come on. I want to adjust them at the approximate same height. And then compare how soft this is, how soft this is. Yeah, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. First, first we need to finish this one. It'll take us, I don't know, another month or so. I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So you see this side, even though it has just even though it has just an exposed axle part here, is a lot stiffer than this part. So there's that. Uh, we can. I mean, after we build the charger, uh, we can make suggestions. I will write them down, and then we can vote on them. And then we are going to build the car that the majority of you vote on. Let's have some democracy. Um, okay, so that's pretty soft. Even though we reinforced it with connectors. And there's a few options that we have. None of them are as good as this, because this spring, I think it's about perfect. It's about perfect for the charger. And this is just, I don't know, this is way too soft. This is way too soft. Okay, what the fuck? What happened here? the Discovery has different wheels than the Porsche, Bugatti, and Sion. The Porsche, Bugatti, and Sion wheels are the same dimensions, but only have a different design of the rim. The Land Rover wheels are narrower, and I think they are also, the diameter of them is smaller. I mean, I don't know what to think of it. Almost makes me want to move this inside of the engine bay, as it's here. Because if we look at it like this, see, we could probably leave that guy here and just re-engineer this box. Somehow I think that would be more convenient, because this is definitely too far out. What connection? I don't understand. Which connection do you mean? You mean, oh, you mean the attachment, of the for the hub. Yeah, that's the right choice. I mean, that's how real cars have it as well. I absolutely always hated the fact that the ET on the Lego wheels was also always 0. That's never the case in real cars. And then you have too little space inside of the wheel to basically do anything. I absolutely welcome this change. So now the dilemma. What do you think? Do we leave the adjuster here where it is and adjust our firewall, or do we move it where it's here and then deal with the problems of the softer spring? I vote for this. What's your opinion? They're the same diameter. So basically, the tire on the supercars is lower profile. Really? So you will say that the Porsche rims are exactly the same diameter as this, but the tire is lower. Then the wheels are very small. I always thought the outer diameter of the wheels is the same as this, but the wheel is slightly bigger. Well, we can try with the longer connectors. Let's see. Let's see what happens with the longer connector. Well, see, that's what I said. That's what I said. Okay, so let's try the longer connectors, just to see what the change is. So we need only two of these to compensate for one for three shorter ones. Yeah, I know they are deeper. I'm talking about the diameter. not the depth. The diameter, I think the diameter of the rims themselves is bigger. It's like the Land Rover wheels are, I don't know, uh, 17 inch, and the Bugatti wheels are, let's say, 19 inch, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now let's try it with this. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, we are definitely going with the this inside of the firewall, because this is stiff enough. It's even stiffer than this side. So yeah, okay, problem solved. Problem solved. So more room in the engine bay. Okay, so now let's replicate what we have this on this side, and then we'll move forward. But for color's sake, I'm just going to use the gray ones on both sides. Otherwise, it will be just too much of a color mishmash, and I don't like that. Yeah, but I just gave an example. Okay, there we go. So there's no really color differences. I will see how what we do when the car is finished, but this looks pretty good to me. Pretty nice. Maybe if we make them black, so the yeah, but the whole car will be black, or maybe red. We can make them red. I think the bushes exist in red as well, so that the spring is red for contrast sake. Yeah, maybe. But for now, I'm going to make them gray, light bluish gray. Okay. Where are my connectors? Oh, there you go. I think I need to buy more Lego. Okay. Now I will temporarily, just to get some strength, uh, fix this between them. I have no idea if this is higher than we need or lower than we need. Right now it will be here. I think there needs to be more room here for the gearbox, but yeah, just so we have you see how stable this is. Just a firewall. Incredible. already holds the car together. Very nice. Ah, okay. It's already here. Yeah, red. I think red. We'll make them red. I like red. Come on. Yeah. Ah, of course. Forgot those two. What the fuck did I just do? Ah. Go. Go. Okay. So. Hello? Dear sir, what? Why are you not? Okay. There we go. Yeah. I guess this will be fine. Uh, I guess we have to just make the car slightly higher so that when it settles, the torsion is bigger. But yeah, it's soft. It's soft. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty soft. I'm still not convinced. I mean, this is more realistic, of course. Let's take a at some picture. Let's take a look at some pictures. Let's take a look at some pictures. Uh, that's not it. Blimey, you're right. The white ones are thicker and stiffer. I didn't pay attention to this. Okay. Sorry, they have to be white. Springs have to be white. There's just no choice. Yeah, you can see here the torsion bars are actually quite long. So actually even longer than what we have here. Okay. Okay, that's a lot stiffer. That's a lot stiffer than before. Really nice. Yep. Yep, that's what we're going to use for now. Okay. Next problem. The steering and this guy. Thing is, I don't know where the steering needs to go. Maybe this is fine. Maybe this is exactly where the steering needs to come out of the firewall. But for this, we need to basically see where the edges of the car are and where the steering wheel is in the dashboard. Again, many things depend on something like that, and I can already see a problem. You see, but exactly like we did, basically, the material of the torsion bars and the thickness of the torsion bars dictate how much they torsionally twist. And then that determines the hardness of the springs. Now there's a few options how to install torsion bars, but that's pretty much it. I mean, the thickness of the bar and the material that it's made of. So depending on how strong it is, and the length, of course, but it all depends on the application. Okay, that's our. Well, it's not our next project. Our next project is actually determining or building this guy here. So we need to see where the bottom of the car is. This is one of the dimensions we actually have. We know exactly where the bottom of the car needs to be, and that's where our rear section comes in handy again. So we need to again connect this to the front to see where this needs to connect. A problem, things have changed. Now, that's why I made pictures with the phone to remind me how things were. Okay, so this is what we're looking at, the front. Yeah. So for this, for comparison's sake, I will take this one, and we'll see where we are at. Okay. Hello, David. Where did it mount? It mounted. Come on. Oh. See, when restoring cars, I always curse. I never make enough pictures. There's always that one picture that you didn't take, but you really need it when assembling stuff. Okay, so it connects here. Okay. Okay. So the connection point that we had, what was actually or is actually exactly here. So basically, yeah, we are too long in this instance. What's the width? Yeah, and we're too wide. I mean, not wide enough, actually. But we need to connect this to this. Oh god, this will be a nightmare. This is going to be a nightmare. Need to be here. Okay. Okay, and here. Okay. Okay. Again, we are going to ghetto fix this. Ghetto fixing means that despite these being too wide, because they can stretch, we're just going to go with it and ignore the fact that this is an illegal building technique. We don't care. The end result will not be illegal. Come on. Okay. So this is this is approximately what we had before. Just this flares out a little bit, but yeah. Let's check. Let's check with our sophisticated measuring device if the wheelbase is the same. So 300 and wait, what? It's not the same. What the? Okay. Hold on. We need a wheelbase that is 375 millimeters long. And our wheelbase definitely isn't 375 millimeters long. What has changed? Well, we need to adjust this. There's no other way. There's no other way. Let's see how much. Probably 2 studs. Just this. The wheelbase is at the moment the only thing I care about. Okay. Let's reconnect. Okay. Let's remeasure. Oh, still, we need to still make it longer. Why did it change? That's weird. Yeah, I probably forgot something. Okay. Again, measuring again. Come on, wheel. Yeah, that's pretty much. No, but one stud. We need one stud more. We need one stud more. Needs to be 375, and one stud is approximately the 5 millimeters that we need. Okay. Okay. Measure again. Yep. That's it. That's what we need. Okay. There we go. Now let's readjust the front suspension. See where it's level. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Okay, this looks all right. And now let's look with this guy where we need to be. Important part is in the front. Okay, I got it. And I'll show you just in a moment. I'll just fix this to the car. And then we're going to take a walk around again. Come on. I'm attaching what is mimicking our dog dish hubcaps, because the hubcaps basically determine where we are with our rocker panel. So, and the rear is important. Okay, so this guy goes away. Okay, I just need to make something to hold this here. Okay, I'll borrow this one. Don't need it anymore, at least for now. Okay, so come on. Just a moment. I need to somehow fix this because it's just giving me a hard time. Okay, let's take a walk. So, see, the rocker needs to be just under the dishes, approximately. And as we move forward, That's pretty much it. This is where our bottom of the car is going to be. These are just temporary. I don't know. I will probably use something else. Just this is just so I know where things are at. And the rocker panel itself will be closer to the inside of the car, so closer to the center of the car, because this is way too wide. The uh, I don't know. I have both. I will use probably black pins in the end, but the car will be a mishmash of colors anyway, because I don't have enough panels in black. I have just a few. The rest will be in whatever color I have. I have them for now, and then we need to see how many black panels we need to order. Okay. Uh, I'll be right back. I need to pee. Intermission. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Um, Another problem that we have, and let me show you on a picture example. Uh, so you see this picture. You see how curved actually the side of the car is up to this point. So we need to think of where the rocker panel sits in order for us to create this curve. Um, of course, we are not going to recreate all of the beautiful body lines, because this is really impossible. But we are going to recreate the top part. The bottom part we'll do as best as we can. So basically, this will be, instead of the line going like this line will go just straight. That's the best we can do. Um, so I'm thinking, really. So the rocker panel starts just below the dog dish hubcap, and it ends somewhere. The slope ends somewhere. Let's say just above it. So this is three studs approximately. Yeah. Do we have Do we have more pictures? Do we have more pictures? Do we have another picture? Yeah. Yeah, approximately the slope is as high as the wheel hub. And it goes, the sloping is about, I would say, to the center of the wheel. So when considering our wheels that are pretty wide, I would say it goes somewhere to the center of the wheel. Yeah, these are too narrow. Those wheels are just too narrow for us, so not a good guide. Yeah. Well, I would say from the center of the wheel upwards, and there it's 3 studs long, three studs high, and then after, and then it's basically a wall. That's how we can do it. There is a slight curve here, but recreating that, I don't know. That's going to be tricky. It has to be. It'll have to be a wall. I don't know. And there's of course the complex curve here. We'll see. We'll see. Now, why is this important? This slope here is important because of the firewall and of course the door, because the firewall needs to be as wide as the A pillar. So when the A pillar ends, the firewall ends, and then the door hinges begin. Uh, so I need to know how much this slopes, and then we need to see how wide the, come on, where are you? Yeah, how wide the gap here is. So between the A pillar and the edge of the door. That's the gap I'm interested in, because the door looks quite wide here. But I would say this can be 2 studs. This can be easily 2 studs. Yeah, 2 studs. That will be 2 studs. From the edge of the A pillar to the outside of the door. So the door itself is going to be 2 studs wide at the A pillar, and maybe 3 studs wide at the C pillar, at the B pillar. Sorry, the B pillar. Okay, but first, the rocker panel. We have enough information to do something about it. Okay, so it needs to begin in the center of the wheel. Okay, what is, okay, yeah. Okay, one a problem is that we used offset. Yeah, okay. Let me fix that. That's giving me a headache. Fix it very quickly. So, very quickly. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Both sides need to be widened. If you have a construct like this, proportions and dimensions can quickly distort. And what happened here is that, Yeah, of course, now it's correct. You see, we have this problem. Oh my god. Okay. Uh, come on. Yeah, it's a me problem. It's a me problem. Now what? Now it's too wide. Oh god. Yeah. I know, I know. So it needs to be what? If it was oh, of course, it needs to be like this. Yeah, this solution is not correct. We need to do it like this. The problem is the rocker panel doesn't sit at the same width in the front and the rear, but it should, because the front and the rear axles are the same width. So we need to do it like this. Oh god. Okay. So now our two rails will be actually parallel as we should have done in the beginning. Okay. Okay. So now that explains it. Of course, this guy here is further inwards than this guy. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Ah, okay. So we have a good opportunity here. Okay. And this now needs to be, yeah, exactly where this is. Exactly where this is. We'll explore more in a second. Come on. Okay. Okay. So this is where our rocker panel needs to start. Let me show you. I prefer, I don't know, salami is okay. Ham is okay. I also like minced meat on pizza. It's easier to say what I don't like. I hate pineapple. I really don't like, what's the name? Oh, come on. Truffles. Truffles. I really hate truffles. I cannot stand that. What else? Mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise on pizza. Uh, but I don't know. I'm I'm good with experimenting. Okay, so this is how our frame looks like, and it begins approximately. I don't know how to show you. It's approximately in the middle of the tire. So what we need to do now, uh, we need to go three studs high, and we need to come uh, flush with the wheel. So we need to see about that, what our options are. Uh, but this is not something we are going to do today. We're just going to measure out those things, because what we need to do is we need to do the firewall first. So all these measurements are there to determine how wide the firewall is going to be, especially this guy, because here is where the doors are going to be hanged, and this determines the width of this. Well, tropical fruits, let's say tropical fruits in general, are not what I would like on pizza. Uh, but I ate kebab pizza in Finland, and I liked it very much. I didn't like the Finnish toppings, of course, with mayonnaise and stuff like that. That's really not my cup of tea. So I ordered one without mayonnaise, but the rest was fine. Um, okay, now that we know this, uh, let's see what the width of our frame needs to be. Okay. So it's this. Yeah, I mean, in Sweden, we didn't go to a pizza place, but we just ate at uh, oh, come on, what's your burger chain? Hesburger? No, not Hesburger. It was not Hesburger. It was the other one. Um, what's it called? Oh my god, I forgot. We ate like three times there. Okay. Okay, that's too wide. So this is not going to be like this. But it's going to be like this. Come on. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is basically this is the outer edge of our bodywork. No part of bodywork is going to be wider than this. It's almost flush with the wheel, The wheel is just slightly inwards, but this part of the bodywork will be basically the fender going over the wheel. So the wheel is going to somehow, I don't know, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're going to sort this out. Okay, so we need to go 1, 2, 3 studs out. But I'm not sure about this. See, now that we know that we need to go 3 studs out, I think that we need to move the rocker panel further out, because the beginning of the curvature is actually here. So, and here it's on the inside of the wheel. So a wild idea maybe would be to move this, basically to flip this and have it on its, yeah, but then, oh god, so many issues. So if we flip this by 90 degrees on its side, then we have a slope that slopes upwards in 3 studs, but it only does this in a 1 stud width, which is not good. But we actually do need to leave it like this. We'll just move it slightly further to the out, 1 stud further to the outside, which will be great. Because the actual well, the floor isn't actually very high as far as I can see. We'll make it 2 studs high. That's about what we can afford. Yeah, my god, the more I see see this, the less I like it. Yeah, I thought about that. Let's just a moment. Let me fetch one. Let me fetch one. Or let's say a few. Okay. Let's daisy chain them together. Just a few, just so we get the feel for what we are doing. They actually may be what you're looking for, but we'll see. one more. Okay, I do have another panel, but let's forget about it now. Okay. So this is interesting. We can... This is not good. What about this? Well, in any case, we would need to angle them somehow. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They don't slope enough. There's not enough slope. Yes, this is okay, but then this is too steep. And if we turn it like this, for example, like this, yes, then this is too flat, and this, I don't know. If this angle was bigger, this angle was actually extended, like if we would, you know, if we would pull them apart, then this would make sense. I mean, we are going to use this, of course. You know where we are going to use this. I mean, this is going to make a great shoulder. Somehow like this. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to come in handy, but not in the rocker panel. So let's see what else we have. Isn't there somehow a yellow or whatever panel that that slopes a little bit more? I don't think I have one, but I know there's some other panel. No, I don't have one. There's another panel. Or in the extreme case, what we could do. I don't know. I tried something, but somehow I don't know. No, that's not right. Whew, that's interesting. What to do? What to do in this case? I don't know. Let's see if I have more panels. one option would be to combine those somehow. There's no like no. And no, there's no really no good way to do this. I mean, this will be excellent for basically every top panel of the car. We are going to, of course, have to somehow create a curvature with bendable axles and something, but these will be pretty good, especially on the front fender. I have no idea, and to be honest with you, I am going to leave this till tomorrow. So we're going to leave this for today. We have done a lot. It's a Dodge Charger. It's going to be a Dodge Charger. So this. Something like this. So we're building a Dodge Charger at a slightly bigger scale than the Lego one, with more realistic suspension and everything, and we'll see. So what we have now, our nicely leaf sprung rear suspension, our torsion bar front suspension, we have steering, of course, yes, the real one does have adjustable torsion bars. That's why we went with it. Oh, come on. Stay on it. The engine bay is pretty small. But that's how it is, I guess. Oh, come on. Okay, so till tomorrow, till Friday, uh, I will get our dimensions right. So all of so the room we need exactly from the wheel to the beginning of the door, from the how long the door is, how long the part from the door until the rear wheel is, and how high actually the hood needs to be. This will also determine stuff in the firewall, and I will try to think of something to solve this slope issue, and of course then I'll know exactly how wide the firewall needs to be. After we know that, we need to see where the seats are going to be, how wide the seats needs to be, so that the steering wheel is in the center of the seat. Then we can position the steering wheel in the firewall, and then we can see if the uh, spring adjuster is in the right place or if we need to move it. Um, so many considerations. Hey Joseph, you have just entered at the end of our stream. Um, yeah, so uh, I will make pictures of this till tomorrow. I will post them on Facebook so that you can basically make your own and build along if you like to, or you can find a solution for a problem that we have. So the problems again, uh, the slope here, we need to solve that. The width of the firewall, the dimensions, so where the door jamb is, how long the door is, how high the belt line needs to be, all of that. So once we have solved that, we can start uh, building the firewall and the frame rails that connect the front and the rear. Yeah, and then slowly start with the rest. We'll see how it goes. The goal is to have a chassis that is pretty torsionally rigid. That's what I want. So definitely not like this. This is what we have now. We do not want that. We want something that is very rigid. And then it's also going to this is also going to affect the suspension and the handling of the car a great deal. Yeah. Uh, thank you. Well, I see you on Friday at the usual time. By then, you will have all of the pictures that you need or want. You can always contact me on Facebook. I also have, or under the comments of this video, of course. Yeah, and we are going from there. So, see you on Friday.